All right, what's up? Um, I'm Dylan. This is Bench Mafia, and we're back. We are doing the Real Madrid 24-25 season. My personal player ratings for each player for the first half of the La Liga season. So today is the start of the second half of the Liga, right into the new year of 2025. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. And I got my new jersey on. Got a good vibe. Valverde on the back, long sleeve. Yeah, let's get right into it. Thibaut Courtois, everybody knows Thibaut. Average foot mob rating this year was 6.93. He played 15 games with 15 starts, 1,350 minutes played out of 1620. 6 clean sheets, which is 91st percentile. Goals conceded, 13, which is the 44th percentile. A little shaky. Goals to shots ratio 13 to 46. 30 saves, 47th percentile, which is 68.2% at a 59th percentile. These percentiles that are in the brackets, they are compared to other people in the same position. So with goalies, obviously, they're going to be compared by the same positions, but fullbacks to fullbacks, center backs to center backs, etc. So yeah, PK saves, 0 out of 0 shot. Errors to goals, 0, which is exactly what you want. And then pass accuracy, 83.7%, which is the 88th percentile. But yeah, so we can all agree that he's not as reliable as he was before, but he is still top tier. He's in that top 5 to 10 range. You could even argue higher, but for right now, that's where he's at in the world. Wish it could be more, but right now I can't agree that it is. He started out really good. He was saving us in some games, but he also took a dip. Some goals were some stinkers. Some were actually his fault towards the end of the season, or the half of the season. But yeah, he still saved us some games, so I can't give him less than a B plus. See, the pluses and brackets, because B is like above average or doing your part, depending on how good you are. So he was doing his part, did a little bit more because he saved some games for us, to be completely honest. But he also did let in some stinkers that aren't expected when you're at his echelon. So yeah. But Andre Lunin, last year did wonders for us, played a lot more. But this year, average football rating 6.8. Only played 3 games, 3 starts obviously, but minutes played is only 270. So clean sheets is 2, 35 percentile. But he also played less games. You have to remember that's 66% of his games he has a clean sheet. So that's actually pretty good, but it doesn't say it because he has less games played. But goals conceded 4, that's 85th percentile, but also take that with a grain of salt because he hasn't played the games that a regular goalie is. Goals to shot ratio 4 to 8. That's pretty much terrible. As you can see later, that's 9th percentile. It's 50% of goals going in. Saves, yeah, he's not coming up against many shots, but he needs to have more than 50% of shots on him saved. PK saves and errors to goals are both 0 to 0. Pass accuracy 79.8% is 82 percentile. I mean, that's not bad, but I mean, you're kind of expecting a little bit, not to say more, but I mean, I personally am expecting better from my keepers. He was definitely quality last year, but he fell off quite a bit, and obviously when you're a goalie and you're not playing as much, you are going to fall off a bit. But he still is a quality backup, and he'll hopefully find form again if he needs to. Hopefully he doesn't need to, but hopefully he can if he needs to. Yeah, my overall rating's a C. He's just there. Not in a bad way. He's just exactly as advertised, exactly as expected. So yeah. Next player, David Alaba. I told everybody that I would include every person in this ranking, or in this, in this ranking, I guess, because they're player ratings. But he is an unfair one because he's back in training though, which is really great to see. We really need him in the back. We need someone there next to Rudiger that isn't Tchouaméni. We'll get into him later, but he hasn't played at all in La Liga yet. But he's a bright spot coming in. He's coming in real soon, hopefully. He still hasn't played a single minute though, so that's why I couldn't give him any rating, and that's why FootMob didn't give him any like stats. Obviously, you can't give someone stats if they're not playing, but hopefully he can come back soon and impact the squad where we need it the most. We do need a center back. Raul Asensio, Tchouaméni doing their part. We'll get into this later, but I think Raul Asensio deserves a start right now, but it's all right. It's all right. We'll be back. Antonio Rudiger, he has been our rock in the back. He's basically the only constant to our back line, at least like right now. But let's get into his ratings. Average FootMob ratings is 6.98. I think that's a little low, but I digress. Games played, 18 games with 17 starts. He played in every single game. Minutes is 1537. 0 goals, 0 assists, but that's what you expect for a center back for the most part. Passing accuracy is in the 90th percentile. Dribbling success is in the 55th percentile, but also, again, you have to remember he's playing 18 games and he's a center back, so you don't expect his dribbling success to be high. Tackles, won percentage is 35%, but he also, you have to remember, he's playing 18 games. So when you play 18 games, you're putting in a hell of a lot of tackles. So 35th percentile isn't the worst. And then duels won, 72nd percentile, playing more games than most people in other backlines are. Not many interceptions, which is surprising. Only 7. 5 blocks is great. And he's in the 90th percentile for recoveries as well. But it's hard to rate him because he's been so constant, so consistently in the starting lineup, but he has dropped a few games. He's underperformed some of them. Like you can't hide that fact, but he's also saved us a few games as well. It's kind of like a Courtois situation, but I feel like he's more reliable, or he's been more reliable than Courtois. That's why I gave him a steady B plus and not a B with a plus in the brackets. He's really close to getting that A minus because of his consistency, but it's more consistency in him being able to play and not consistency on the field as much. That's why I gave him a B plus. So yeah, let's move on. Danny Carvajal. We know about Danny Carvajal. Average FootMob rating 7.29. That's really good for a fullback. Games played only 8 with 7 starts. Minutes 609. Goals, he's in the 70th percentile with just 1, but that's compared to all fullbacks. Assists 0. Pass accuracy in the 87th percentile. Dribble success isn't that good, but he's also a fullback, and all they really do a lot of the time is dribble. So if you're attempting so many dribbles, obviously going to have a lower success rate, unless you're him, but only some people can be. Tackling wins, it's 52nd percentile, and he's also not attempting many, so that's not really, because he only played 8 games. But duels won, 84 percentile, that's really good. Interceptions with 10 and 8 games, 61st percentile, that's really good. He has more interceptions than games. Blocks, only 1, but that's pretty good considering Rudiger, who's a center back and plays and has played every single game. He only has 5, and that was 96th percentile. So yeah, that's not bad at all. Recoveries as a fullback, that's not very good. But we know his eye test and everything about him. He's been doing. He provided so much for the team before getting injured. It's just it sucks that he did. He was literally in Ballon d'Or runnings before he got injured. So I think that was really good for him. Yeah, he plays way better than his stats say, but it's mostly due to the fact that he only played 8 games, so all of his percentiles are going to be down. He literally is our captain, right there next to Luka Modric. Yeah, he just provides so much, like with the Spanish heart of the team, really, because with we're a Spanish team that doesn't have Spanish players really. We import a lot of our players, but although that's not a bad thing, I'm saying he is the Spanish heart, and he gives us the desire to win that league every single season, desire to win that Champions League every single season. He's one of the two main captains on our team, and we need him. That's why I gave him a B. I gave him a B. It would have been in the A's, but he's not going to play the rest of the season, sadly, so I can't give him any higher than a B. But with that said, yeah, the way he played, he deserves an A. The way he can't play now deserves a B or C. So I gave him a B. Lucas Vasquez. Average football mob rating of 6.96. 15 games played with 10 starts, minutes 880, goals 1, assists 2. That's 3 GAs. That's really good for a fullback. Passing accuracy is in the 88th percentile. Dribbling success is in the 90th percentile. Tackles 33rd percentile. Playing in 15 games, and with 880 minutes, almost 1,000 minutes on the season. And your tackles is only 33 percentile as a defender. I mean, I like when fullbacks get up, but defending's your job. Duels won is less than every other defender that we've spoken of previously, with the 67th percentile. Interceptions, not many, only 4, and that's with playing double the games that Carvajal did. Blocks 1, recoveries 30. That's not very good for a fullback. And then my overall rating, C+. I gave him a C+ because he's very inconsistent right now. He plays really strong some games, and then other games he just doesn't keep form, and that definitely drops his stock for me personally. He provides well for the team all in all, though. He still needs to go, like especially with that Trent rumor going around. I definitely think he needs to get out of here. All right. Well, obviously we can keep him on the bench. He would be a great bench player, but he can't be starting. He can't be a starter. What I would personally do right now, since we don't have Trent, is I would go to a 3-back. I would go to a 3-5-2. That would give us the ability to still have 3 midfielders, and then that gives us another attacking option up top with still 2 wingers. And I think a 3-back would play just fine with Rudiger, center defender, and then Tchouaméni off the left or right. Honestly, it doesn't matter. And Raul Asensio right there too, with the way that those guys been playing. But yeah, Lucas Vasquez, his numbers are pretty flattering due to the fact that his eye test sucks. But yeah, all in all, he's provided, but he can't be a mainstay for much longer. Jesus Vallejo, I hate this asshole. I don't mean that actually, but he simply needs to go. Games played 1. He played 10 minutes for that game and didn't start. My overall rating's an F. He's given us close to nothing in the past years, like literal buns. Like his tick goes down and down. He can't play. He's not a Madridista. He should not be here. Few good games means absolutely nothing in the span of years. So let's move on. Ferland Mendy. Yeah. Average foot mob rating 6.5. 3, games played 11 with 9 starts, minutes played 763, 0 goals, 0 assists. But these numbers are really all over the place. Blocks, didn't say, but passing accuracy with a 94% in the 100th percentile, that's top tier. But his dribbling success for a fullback sucks. Tackling wins 89th percentile, really good. Duels 1 percentile is really good. Interceptions, 9 and only 9 starts is pretty decent. Blocks, as we said earlier, didn't say. Recoveries still really low for a fullback. All of our fullbacks don't really recover, is what I'm seeing. He's not a Madrid type player, and I personally think he needs to go. If it's between him and Fran Garcia to stay, Fran Garcia is my choice. He's just, even though his numbers, we'll get to them, but I personally think they're slightly worse. But he's just a lot more consistent, I found. And I think he deserves to stay more than Mendy. His average rating and goal and games played speaks for themselves. He's not playing much, and we need someone better. He fails the eye test, but his stats are decent compared to other fullbacks. As we see, the percentiles. I don't think that matters too much though. He needs to. He needs to go. He needs to go. But yeah. Other than dribbling, his percents and percentiles are pretty much there. They are really good. But you also have to take into account that he has less attempts for tackles, duels, and interceptions than all these other guys, putting their percentages lower because, you know what I mean? When you attempt less and do the same amount, it looks better. But when you attempt more and more and more, you're obviously going to be missing more and more and more. So it's harder to keep that percentage echelon. But yeah. That's why I think of Mendy. He simply needs to go. And then, speaking of the Devil, Fran Garcia, 14 games played and 8 starts, 6.89 average foot mob rating, which is higher than Mendy's. 0 goals, 0 assists again, 85th percentile in passing, 17th percentile in dribbling, and you do see that in the games. Tackles and duels both basically 75th percentile. Interceptions is 45th percentile. Blocks is 80th percentile, which is really good. And recoveries is better than, I'm pretty sure, every other. Let's see. Other than, Rudiger, his percentile for recoveries is top tier. My overall rating is a C. I mean, he's slightly more reliable when considering games played and a slightly higher average foot mob rating than Mendy. They both play left back, so I'm going to compare them a lot. He doesn't pass the eye test most games, but I do like him as a player. Last year, I saw a little bit more from him, but he started this season good, and he's died off in recent games. I've seen, his stats say that he's Mendy but worse, but I think he's Mendy but better. But he's also played, I think, slightly more. Yeah, slightly more. Even though he has less starts, I don't understand where that came from. I thought he played more, but that's alright. I think he needs more time, and with more time he'll grow more. But I also recommend that we sign a left back. I think he would be a good subbing left back, not a good split time left back. He's my personal choice to start, as I've said before, but I think Mendy needs to go. I've heard other Real Madrid fans say this, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think Mendy needs to be the next guy out. Yeah, simple as that. But Eder Militao, excuse me. Eder Militao Average foot mob rating is 7.21. That's pretty good. 12 games played, 11 starts. Minutes, 940. 1 goal, 1 assist, 77 percentile, 82nd percentile. Obviously, when you score 1 goal, have 1 assist as a center back, that's going to be good. 79th percentile in passing accuracy, 56th percentile in dribbling success. When you consider that he's a defender, it's pretty decent. But he's also a Brazilian, so is it really good? Tackles 1, 87th percentile. Duels 1, a little low, 41st percentile. Interceptions, 55th percentile. Blocks, 88th percentile. That's really good. And he only has 2 less blocks, than Rudiger, who's played every single game. Recoveries, 65th percentile. Still very decent, especially when compared to the fact that he only has 12 games with 11 starts. My overall rating's a B+. We know he's not going to play. So even though his stats and his foot mob rating and everything about his play is telling me, he's doing good, he's not going to play. So just like Danny Carvajal, I had to knock his stock a little. He's our second best defender that we have. Rudiger, especially last year, proved that he's the best defender we've had for the past 2-3 years. Eder Militão's right there, though. If he could stay healthy, it would probably be a different story, but the fact of the matter is that he can't, and he doesn't. Unfortunately, the injuries keep him out basically all of 2025. I think his estimated return is December. It's a big loss. But you see 1 goal, 1 assist in 11 starts. He provides up top. But and he's a big presence in the back too. He's just he had a few shaky games when he was healthy, but he was definitely a solid 100% starter for the most part. He's a huge reason why our backline's struggling. We're missing his piece. Same with David Alaba. Once David Alaba comes back, I think it'll be slightly better situation. But of all our injuries so far, I think he's the biggest miss we're going to have. Danny Carvajal's a close second, but I think he's our biggest miss. Especially because, every other center back we have is out too. like David Alaba, he's our shining star, hopefully to come back. But yeah. Raul Asensio, incredible when considering expectations. We're matching the jerseys right now, actually, but average foot mob rating is 6.95. I think that's a little low, but he also only has 3 starts and 6 games played. Minutes played, 354. He deserves more. 0 goals, but 1 assist, which is in the 82nd percentile. Passing accuracy is 94th percentile. Dribbling success is 100th percentile. I think that's pretty cool. He only attempted a few dribbles. I do remember that, but he was given a chance and he took it. 63rd percentile, 95th percentile for duels won, and not many interceptions at all. Blocks weren't listed, and then his recoveries are terrible. But only having 3 starts is completely abysmal. He way exceeded his expectation. Even when hearing he was going to come in, we were all hoping he would be really good, but he even passed our hopes. I gave him an A- because I can't justify anything less for an academy player coming in and doing more than what everybody hoped he would. I think he deserves more time. I even think he deserves to start over Tchouaméni with what he's done. He's honestly playing like a Ramos regen. I thought personally it would be Joe Martinez, and they were calling the similarities with him, but but hopefully it's both of them, honestly. Raul Asensio is playing quite. Sorry, my feed cut out, but we're still on Raul Asensio. Right at the end, his numbers speak levels, and I didn't put it down, but 90% of aerial duels won, 96th percentile. Like, he's the defender that we needed, and he came in, provided, and he's not playing. I don't know why, but yeah. I said what I needed to say. All in all, Tchouaméni. Full mob rating of 7.18. 14 games played with 14 starts, 1187 minutes, 0 goals, 0 assists. He's playing as a defender, so obviously we don't expect goals. We don't expect assists from defenders. That's a plus if they get any. 95th percentile in passing accuracy. You expect that from a defensive mid playing center back. Dribbling success, 65 percentile. You expect better from a midfielder playing in the back. Tackles won is 6th percentile. Now, 14 games played, 14 starts, you'd expect the better tackles. Duels won, 73rd percentile, that's really good, but you expect that from a D-mid playing in the back. Interceptions, 95th percentile, really good, but you expect him to have a slightly bit better because of that defensive mid role, but, I mean, with being in the 95th percentile, you can't take anything away from that. Blocks only 1, which is the 53rd percentile, but you expect a little bit more. And then his recovery is 88th percentile. Also a really good stat for him. I'm personally rating him as a defender because he's played as a defender. I wouldn't say most of this season, but we've needed him as a defender, especially towards the end. So I rated him as a defender, and I can see him playing defense at least until David Alaba comes back. I personally think that he's better in the midfield. Keep him in the midfield, except for right now where I would play that 3-back that I talked about earlier. But yeah, his stats for a D-mid playing center back are as expected, but even better. But I don't think he's doing quite as much as, Raul Asensio is when it comes to defending. He's been getting increasingly better in the new position, but I'd still rather have Raul next to Rudiger than Tchouaméni. I think Tchouaméni can fight with Camavinga in the mid spot, but I still think Camavinga beats him out right now. He needs to work to get his spot back. Simple as that. He stumbled at first playing center back, but he's bounced back a pretty decent amount. I feel like he's kind of coasting, playing center back as a D-mid, and I think Raul Asensio deserves it more. Alright, now getting into the real midfielders of this year. Luka Modric, 6.97 full mob rating, 18 games played but only 7 starts, 823 minutes, 0 goals but 3 assists, which takes him into the 92nd percentile, 3 GAs, 31 chances created is 97th percentile, successful passes is 709 with 92nd percentile, passing accuracy 91st percentile, successful dribbles only 45th percentile, but he is only starting 7 games. 72nd percentile in dribble success rate, and he was only dispossessed 8 times, which is 37th percentile, which isn't too good, but you also have to keep into account that he is playing in every single game. And with 7 starts, you know that most of his minutes came at crunch time, so he was going for it. I think he's giving us even more than we expected at his age, but it's Luka Modric, so you can't say we didn't expect greatness. Because of his role, he's a sneaky good eye test. You just have to be watching him. But he still does so much for the team when he's in, and even when he's not in, he's a great captain. His numbers are still top tier at his age, so for that I gave him a B+. I was really close to A- because he's giving us so much more than we expected, but then I realized it's Luka Modric. It's Ballon d'Or winner Luka Modric. He is going to give you more than you expect every single time, until he can't anymore, until his legs fall off. But yeah, Danny Ceballos, sneaky good player this year. Full mob rating is 7. That's what you need to know. Games played is only 9 with 5 starts, 427 minutes, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 GAs, 1 big chance made. I know he's playing as a D mid, but I would like to see those numbers a bit higher. But yeah, successful passes is only 68th percentile, but passing accuracy is 98th percentile. Successful passes, you expect that to be a little bit lower because he's only played in 9 games. He's only played in half the games that we've played. Successful dribbles is only 31st percentile, but same for successful passes. Dispossessed only 2 times, which is 81st percentile, but still take that with a grain of salt because he's played less games. Dribbling success is 59th percentile. These percentages, passing accuracy and dribble success rate, are what you want to look at a little bit more for a guy like Danny Ceballos because he hasn't played in every game. He's only played in half the games, and he only started half of that. So I think he deserves to play a lot more. Maybe not start right now, especially with Camavinga being back, but and especially due to the fact that he doesn't really provide up top at all. 1 big chance created and 0 GAs. I mean, he is a D mid, but at the same time, you expect something with playing in. But he only played in half the games, so I mean, I think he deserves to play a lot more because of what he does. Other than that, but yeah, don't let that take it away. I still gave him a B plus because he is overperforming what we all clearly expected, and yeah, his eye test right now speaks A minus to A, but it's just those attacking stats that he's missing, and as a D mid, it doesn't matter as much. That's why I still think he should get more playing time, more tick. But yeah, that's where I'm at with him right now. Fede Valverde, you guys are gonna like this one. So before I speak on it, this might spoil what I have for him. I have 5 players that I have for Ballon d'Or watch. You know, it's early. It's pretty early in the season. You know, it's halfway through this season. Champions League hasn't even passed the group stage yet. All these other things take into account for the Ballon d'Or. Fede Valverde is on Ballon d'Or watch. And let me explain to you why. This motherfucker has almost an 8.0 FOMOB rating. He's only like 0.25 off, 0.28 off. He has played in every single game and has started every single game because he deserves it. He has the most minutes played for the team. His goals scored for his position, and keep in mind, he started as a right back one of these games. Keep in mind that he is playing out of position, right back, center mid, attacking mid, defensive mid, right wing. He's playing everywhere for this team. He doesn't have a steady starting spot. It would be the center mid if we weren't losing it. If we didn't lose people every 5 seconds due to injuries. 100th percentile for goals scored, and they're all fucking screamers. Assists, 2, 77th percentile. But that's for a midfielder that's also playing out of position half the games he plays. GA's a 7. You can assume that that's a lot for a midfielder. Big chances, 22, which is the 93rd percentile. Successful passes, 994. He's in the 100th percentile of successful passes completed. Passing accuracy is 90%. Everybody knows anything above 85 to 90% is perfect, especially for a midfielder. That's what you want. 89th percentile for that. Successful dribbles, 72nd percentile. Dribbling success, only 57th percentile. But dispossessed 1 time in 18 games and 18 starts. My overall rating for him is an A+. And this is the most versatile, hardworking player that we have on the team right now, and he's still so young. He gives everything, including top-tier performances, weekly. He does this game in, game out. He hasn't had really a bad game yet. He's covering for right now, I believe he's covering our Tony Cruz role. Not so much in the way that they play, but in the presence that's there, and the star power and the aura and everything that we wanted from him is what we're getting. Just like everything we wanted from Tony Cruz is what we got. So yeah, brilliant numbers and brilliant eye test. You just gotta watch this guy. Yeah, but for that reason, he's my first door watch. He's my first Ballon d'Or watch. He wouldn't be my front runner. I think he's the second best performing player on the team right now. Compared to what we expected from them, he's first best. Just because the other guys are obviously guys that we expected the most from. We're getting the most from him while expecting slightly less than the other guys. But yeah, Eduardo Camavinga, 7.5 foot mob rating, 7 games played with 6 starts, 498 minutes, 0 goals but 2 assists, which puts him in the 77th percentile. And with him playing a lot less than other guys, like he's played less than half of the games this year. So 77th percentile is really good. GA's is 2, obviously. Big chances, only 5, but remember, just, I'm not going to keep saying it. Keep in mind that their games played and their starts and their minutes affect their percentiles because it's compared to all players in their position. Passing accuracy, 82nd percentile. Successful dribbles, 54th percentile. Dribble success, 66th percentile, and he was dispossessed only 4 times. My overall rating, as you can see there, I put B+, but could also clearly be A-. He's my personal opinion. He's over Tchouaméni this season. He needs to start from now on. Again, my opinion. I do play midfield at my school. Midfield is my position. I do understand the game fairly well, but he's our Casemiro regen, and the only reason I didn't give him an A- is because his numbers were a little lower than I thought or expected them to be. But he provides, even as what's it called, defensive midfielder, 2 assists in 7 games. That's pretty damn good. Yeah. Once he plays more in the league, we'll see more from him, and I'm sure I'll go up to A-, A or A+, hopefully. Hopefully. Jude Bellingham. This is what I have to say. That started off a bit wrong. Obviously, what I'm going to say is very good because you can see his overall rating right now. A+. He's my number 1 in Ballon d'Or watch, despite Vinny. We'll get into Vinny. I don't like him as much as the next Real Madrid guy, but Jude Bellingham is my number 1 in Ballon d'Or watch. Jude Bellingham is my number 1 player right now, and I'm a midfielder, so I have a little bit of bias, but you'll see why. Average foot mob rating is 7.68. That's one of the highest on our team. Games played is 14 with 14 starts. So every game he was able to play, he played and he started. 1,146 minutes. 6 goals scored puts him in the 91st percentile. 4 goals assists puts him in the 91st percentile. Don't forget that he's missing 4 games that other guys have played. GA's is 10. As a center mid to attacking mid, I'd say that's pretty damn good for 14 games played. Big chances is 16, puts him in the 76th percentile. Keep in mind he's missing 4 games off of other top tier players. Successful passes 100%, 100th percentile. Passing accuracy 93rd percentile. Successful dribbles 75th percentile. Dribbling success 77th percentile. Dispossessed 18th percentile. Other than dispossessed, because you know Jude Bellingham takes chances. So other than dispossessed, which obviously isn't what we want to see, he doesn't have a single stat under the 75th percentile. A single important stat that I picked out under 75th percentile. That speaks levels, and he's so young still, and he's so new to this team compared to other players, but he's taking over. He is what he is controlling our team right now. He's not the captain, but he acts like a captain. He's not the goal scorer, but he can act as a goal scorer. 6 goals. Um, we're seeing so much from him, and I'm gonna keep saying it. He's missing 4 games on the season. Imagine he played those 4 games. He might have 12, 13, 14 GAs, but overall A plus. He needed to be controlling games like he did last year, and he has been. Uh, a little bit less than last year. Last year, I think he deserved the Ballon d'Or, but yeah, that's a whole nother video in itself. I don't want to start talking about it. He was our orchestra conductor. He's our orchestra conductor. I forgot the word for a second, but his numbers show levels, and it's like this is exactly what I'm saying. Like he is he is what like Real Madrid is. So when he's playing bad, Real Madrid's playing bad. He hasn't played bad yet, but like he is the bright spot of every bad game, and yeah, that's enough glaze for me. But yeah, Arda Güler, we're getting into the official strikers now, or forwards. 7.22 foot mob rating. 14 games, but only 6 starts, 574 minutes, 38th goals, 1, assists, 3, gives him 4 GAs. Assist, even while only starting 6 games, gets him in the 82nd percentile. We'll look at this real quick. 574 minutes for Arda Güler, with 14 games played. 14 games played for Jude Bellingham, but 1,146 minutes. That's the difference between starts. That's why I added starts here. Starts matter. When you're getting that many more minutes, he has only 1 less assist than Jude, because he is a forward, obviously. You expect him to get more goals, more assists, but he's playing a lot less. And I think that speaks wonders. So he has 1 goal. His expected goals is 1.78, so he's underperforming what they thought he would, or what they thought he should have scored. Shot accuracy is 79%, though. That's really good. Big chances is 17, which puts him in the 79th percentile. 92nd percentile in pass accuracy, 66th percentile in dribbling success. If you watch Arda Güler, you know Arda Güler, he takes chances dribbling, so completely fine that he's 66th percentile. Means he completes more dribbles than he messes up. 2/3 of all dribbles are good. My overall rating for him is a B. Might be more if he played more. I think he should play more, and I think it will be an A minus, or even an A once he does play more. It is hard to get him some time, because you got to remember he's competing with Rodrigo. He's competing with Valverde at some points. He's competing with even the guys on the bench like Endrick and Brahim Diaz. He's also competing with the guys on the field like Mbappe. Already mentioned Rodrigo, but also Vinicius as well. So, yeah. But other than a few times, he's been showing his quality. There's a few times he made a few mistakes, like back to back to back, that I do remember. But the bottom line, he needs more minutes, but I'm fine with those minutes coming next year. Right now, where the team's at, I don't think he needs to take time from other people unless injured. I think him and Brahim Diaz splitting time is really good. They're both really good younger guys. I do think Arda Güler, if I had to pick, I'd pick him obviously over Brahim Diaz. Younger and has just straight up more talent. But yeah. Let's go to the next guy. No, Brahim Diaz. I forgot he was next. But average rating a little bit lower. But other than that, the stats really are pretty close. He has honestly better stats, especially when playing a little bit less. But 2 goals, 2 assists, still 4 GAs. He has more goals than what was expected for XGs. Shot accuracy is higher with 86th percentile, 67th percentile in big chances, 88th percentile in pass accuracy, 82nd percentile in dribbling success. He has better better stats, but I think because of the age and because of the talent, you can argue that Arda Güler should get a little bit more minutes. I think in games that they play decently well together, and Brahim Diaz is more proven, and I think he should still be getting just as many minutes as he deserves, like justifiably. But I can't justify him playing when the big guys are healthy. Just like Arda Güler, they're basically in the same boat. But for all intents and purposes, he's giving us more than we expected. 4 GAs and only 6 starts is honestly really well. That's really good. Rodrigo, Brazil, obviously, he is my third Ballon d'Or watch. He's a sneaky one. I know people don't expect him, but hear me out. 7.45 foot rob rating. That's pretty good. 15 games played with only 11 starts. Remember that, because remember how much we talked about starts matter. Minutes played 983. Keep in mind that's less than Bellingham. Goals is 5, 88th percentile. Assists is 3, 82nd percentile. That speaks. GAs is 8. He has an XG of 1.81, and he has 5 goals. That speaks levels on his finishing ability. His shot accuracy is 79%. It's great. Big chances is 27, puts him in the 93rd percentile. He has a 97th percentile in pass accuracy and a 62 percentile in dribble success. He dribbles every time he touches the ball, so obviously you expect the dribbling success to be around there. My overall rating for him is an A. Honestly, with the way he's been playing, could be an A+. I forget exactly why I didn't give him an A+. I think there's some guys that are performing slightly better, like the Jude Bellinghams, like the Valverdes, but that's probably why I gave him an A. Numbers and eye tests speak for themselves. He is literally scoring nice goals. He's scoring the needed goals. So yeah, dude is him, deserves more respect. People forget the R all the time. They say it's Vinny, Mbappe, and Jude. They forget the R. They forget the Valverde. I love Valverde. I'm a midfielder though, so. But yeah, he's playing with extreme confidence right now, and it's definitely showing. And he is definitely my third pick and my probably second sneaky pick for Ballon d'Or watch. Him and Valverde. Endrick's a tricky one. Doesn't play much. They didn't even say a lot of his stats on FootMob. Basically a 6. He has 82 minutes on the season out of a rough 16-20. 1 goal, 0 assists. I think 1 goal in 82 minutes, like 1 goal in less than a game. And he's been playing a decent amount of games. That's 12 games with 0 starts. You have to remember that. 12 games, he has 82 minutes. That's rough. That's rough. But yeah. Expected goals. He has less XG than goals, obviously. So he's overperforming in that. Shot accuracy is 60%. Could be a little bit better, but everything else didn't have a stat because he doesn't play enough. So I gave him a C. We didn't expect him to play much this year, especially with Mbappe coming in. But for what we've seen, he's been providing. But with only 82 minutes, I couldn't give him anything less than average. And I see C as average. Excuse me for that again. Cut out again. But let's cut out, I promise. Going on to Kylian Mbappe. Average FootMob rating, 7.76. 16 games played, 16 games started. 1,374 minutes. 95th percentile for goals of 10. 67th percentile of assists of 2. 12 GAs. XGs is 12.1, which means he's under scoring. Shot accuracy is 80%. That's pretty good. 96th percentile in big chances of 20. 93rd percentile in pass accuracy and 51 percentile in dribble success. For a guy top tier every single year since 2016, 2017, basically. 51st percentile in dribbling success when he's known for dribbling. That's you expect more. So yeah, he's obviously a Ballon d'Or watch because he started off the season quite underperforming, but then he bounced back. He bounced back. He's been playing better and better each game, and yeah. So I'm skip forward to by accident all there, but yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. He has better numbers than his eye test has been advertising. He needs to turn it up a level. He needs to keep the tick up. But yeah, he's slowly been getting better and better each game. And the next 5 games after this break are the biggest test. Starting today, what he does against Valencia could really show whether he should be, someone that we keep and seek to provide for, or seek answers from or not. And yeah, simple as that. Vinny Jr., obviously another Ballon d'Or watch, 7.82 foot mob rating. That's top tier. Games played 14 out of 18 with 12 starts. Minutes played 1,100. Goals 8 with 97th percentile, and assists 5 in the 95th percentile. That's 13 GAs. XGs is 5.85, which means he's overscoring. Shot accuracy is 62nd percentile, or 62%. Big chances is 30, that's the 96th percentile. 47th percentile in pass accuracy and 42nd percentile in dribbling success. My overall rating is an A-. See, he gets an A- because this isn't his best year. It's not as good as last year, even though he said it would be 10 times better. This isn't his 10 times better year. He's been playing all right. We do have to keep in mind that he only started, or he didn't start 6 games this year, and he still has those great stats. But passing success, it's not very good. Dribbling success for a Brazilian winger that advertises his dribbling so much, it's not where it needs to be. 42nd percentile is not good. It's really not good. He's obviously a Ballon d'Or watch. He's obviously playing very, very well. Gave him an A- when I was strict about that with other guys. He deserves the A-, but he's not playing 10 times better than he advertised. I don't like that he's still complaining about the Ballon d'Or. He needs to get over it and show that he should have won. I personally think it should have been Bellingham, him second or third. I don't find a problem with Rodri winning. It's also coming from a midfielding perspective, but Vinny was definitely my second pick, but I'm also taking into account bias. I probably did have a bias for Vinny over Rodri, but for me it was Bellingham. And that can be a different video on itself. Maybe I will make that video. I feel like it's past the time now, and I personally don't even care as much about it. But yeah, Bellingham's my pick. Vinny was definitely second for me, but I was fine with him being third. I don't care. Shoot me. He's showing great numbers. Other than the passing and dribbling success, he's showing great numbers. He passes the eye test, obviously. He still needs to take over. He's been doing very well. He scores and assists. He provides up top, and that's what we know him to be. He provides up top, and that's what we know him to be. We need him to be more of a leader, though. Personally, for me, he needs to start performing better than last year. Last year is his okay. He should have or could have won Ballon d'Or, depending on how you look at it. And should he have? I don't know. But this year should be his bounce back year to where he says, F you to everybody. Yeah, that was me. And that's going to be me again and again and again and again. Give me the Ballon d'Ors. But, he hasn't yet. Doesn't mean he's not top 5 in the world. Doesn't mean he's not top 3 in the world. Doesn't mean he's not top 2 in the world. I think he's there, and I think he will be. But yeah, it just needs that extra little click. And what I'd personally do is put Mbappe to the left and Vinny up top. Vinny showed that he can play up top, and when he goes up top, they both perform well. So I just keep doing that. But yeah, those are my ratings. for every player that's played for Real Madrid this year, every player that's on the roster, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And don't forget to watch that game today. Valencia versus Real Madrid. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. First game back from the break. 2 weeks without Real Madrid was tough, but I'll see you guys in the next one.